I challenge investors to really dig, to double down on that. The people that I talk with, it doesn't matter the city, St. Louis, Baltimore, DC, I don't care, Philadelphia. It doesn't necessarily matter on that. I think that you should be the local expert. I think that's the real goal, right? Like if you want to be really successful and you really want to know where you're gonna have a leg up on your competitors is knowing the blocks in which they don't understand. They don't know. They haven't dug into the data the same way. They haven't looked at the public record data or the permit data or heck even the crime data. Just understanding where things are concentrated and where they're not is going to make you more successful than the people who are not doing that stuff.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Pros podcast. I'm Kristen, and I'm here with Brian Leibowitz of Dominion Properties. We're going to talk about, all of the major investing he's doing. They have over 900 doors just in Baltimore. So this is going to be a really insightful conversation. Thank you for being here, Brian.
Hey, no problem. Thank you, Kristen. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah. So let's get back to the beginning. What brought you into real estate in the beginning?
Well, I graduated from Virginia Tech and graduated in a very unique time in the world with the Great Recession, and really couldn't find anything in my career, that I went through college with, and got into real estate because my parents had been doing it for years. And a buddy of mine said, "Hey, look, man, go get your license. We're doing all these REOs. I need help." And I went and did it. And frankly, Kristen, I never looked back. And it's one of those things where not only does the money follow the effort, that you put into it, but I just find it so gratifying and so, meaningful to be a part of, someone's, first time home purchase or heck, even the end of it, their retirement home purchase, the whole thing in between. And then that expanded into the volume real estate that we do today, 15 years later, here I am. Right. And it's, I don't know, I find real estate just so interesting, all the different avenues and all the different information and all the different data that you can dig into is very meaningful.
That's amazing. You found your passion right away, right out of college.
Yeah, I lucked out. Bottom line, that's definitely something that I'm very grateful that I did, because I went to Virginia Tech for environmental science, chem minor,
Okay.
biology minor, geology minor, and just couldn't find much that was going on in 2010, 2011. It just didn't exist. The market was a different time, and job interviews were few and far between. And I'm still grateful to my buddy who, pushed me and said, look, man, you're good at this. Your parents have been doing it for a while. You're better than most. Go get your license. It's $250, right?
Yeah.
Like, go get it. And the rest is history, because now it's, 2,500 transactions and, just hundreds of millions of dollars of real estate, that has gone through, my transaction pipeline. And I'm forever grateful, to be honest.
Amazing. Your parents are probably like, "We've been telling you this is true."
Yes, that's exactly what. And at first they were like, "Wait a minute, what are you doing? You just went through college. What are you doing here?" But but it is. And, I do say that, while I'm not using my degree, I did meet all of these, contacts, the people who put me into real estate, who got me interested in it. I did meet them at college. So I don't know if that would have happened, whether or not I went, but that's my story, and I'm sticking to it on that.
And what was the turning point? Like, can you take me back to one of your first deals where you really realized like, oh, this is actually something I can make into a
So
career?
it actually it progressed very quickly because of REO. The way REO was back in 2010, 2011, it was, the people who are listening today who remember that time, like REO was bonkers, and it was literally dozens and dozens and dozens of foreclosures daily. And I remember it vividly. My friend that pushed me to be licensed, he said, "Hey, I'm going to give you your first couple listings. Just take your time, go ahead and get through them." So
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
he gave me, I think, 3 listings that first day. Okay, and I was like, all right, cool. Like, I'll sink my teeth into them, no problem. Well, 3 days later, he gave me another 3. And if anybody who's listening has been a first time real estate agent, you don't know what you're doing. Like the courses only give you so much. So I got thrown to the wolves because a month in, I'll cut to the chase here. A month in, I had, 60, 70 listings. And my buddy's like, all right, you're probably good for right now. I'm like, dude, I'm drowning. What are you talking about? But because of that, I am who I am today, right?
Mhm.
Like now, 100, having 100 in the pipeline is the minimum.
Mhm.
I'm built differently now, and I expect, the team and the construction team and, acquisitions to be, humming. We've got to keep the pipeline full because we've got multiple departments that are dependent on it.
How did you even go about managing that many listings right in the beginning of your career? Did you outsource some help or did you do that all yourself?
No, that was 80-hour a week work.
Wow.
It's just what it was. And
Yeah.
today, look, I've learned my lesson, right? Like, it's 15 years later. I know people can't function doing that for very long. And frankly, it took about 2, 3 years of understanding, like, look, this is not sustainable. You can't do that. My longtime girlfriend, who's now my wife, she was very understanding. And the change that we made was, one, we moved closer to where I was doing business. We were living in Northern Virginia at the time. So I was commuting to Baltimore, literally hours on the road every day. And it was crazy. So we just said, look, like, we got to make a change here. We've got to get my schedule back to a more normal status. So we moved. We moved to Baltimore, and we love it here. We live in Baltimore County, and it's great. It's a great place to be. It's more affordable than Northern Virginia, and it allowed me to really, really pursue my career. And we've done a lot since.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like you guys have such a presence in Baltimore. Talk about more about what makes that market so special.
Yeah, so Baltimore on paper looks very affordable. And I think it tends to. I'm going to quote the owner of Dominion. It tends to chew people up and spit them out. You really, really got to dig into the neighborhoods, and you really have to know the blocks. And with the amount of transactions that I've done, it's the reason why I got put into the chair that I'm in today, is the running the department, running, being a director. The owners of Dominion know Baltimore, better than anybody. And I'm right behind them. With the amount of transactions that we do, it makes it a very unique type of place to understand, to see all these properties going back and forth and having 900 doors and having, doing, 30, 40, 50 flips a year. You see a lot that's, that is not usually seen in the typical MLS data or the Zillow data. If you're not a real estate agent, I know you don't have MLS access. So you got to know that stuff because Baltimore is so unique, and everybody's able to say like, "Oh, every city's block by block, Brian." I challenge you to find a city that has more than a $200,000 swing in value block by block. Like that's very unique.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
And that's where I feel that we really have a leg up on a lot of our competition, understanding that there is a real difference between one block to the other, and in knowing what product to that you're going to end up with, and it's not that we or anybody for that matter is specifically undercutting on their renovations or something, but you have to know like, hey, you're not going to have a $300,000 house, on this block. You're going to have a $200,000 house. And that means that you're limited on what you can do there. And it may mean that you may not buy on that block. Really, that's really the key. And I feel that we're really good at that.
Yeah, I always love hearing people talk about going deep rather than just spraying wide, at least in the beginning. I think there's so much value in knowing the market very intimately. And as you said, knowing block by block, what the market is all about.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the general knowledge, right? The general idea that, oh, I know this city or I know that city. I challenge investors to really dig, to double down on that. The people that I talk with, it doesn't matter the city, St. Louis, Baltimore, DC, I don't care, Philadelphia. It doesn't necessarily matter on that. I think that you should be the local expert. I think that's the real goal, right? Like if you want to be really successful and you really want to know where you're gonna have a leg up on your competitors, is knowing the blocks in which they don't understand. They don't know. They haven't dug into the data the same way. They haven't looked at the public record data or the permit data or heck even the crime data. Just understanding where things are concentrated and where they're not is going to make you more successful than the people who are not doing that stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's just more trust that's built through the whole
Agreed.
process.
Yeah, the trust is a thing, right? Like that's a tangible thing. It's not, there's not, money associated with it per se, but if you are more trustworthy and you understand the trustworthiness of a specific block versus a different block, you'll make more money.
Absolutely. When did you make this transition from being an agent to investing?
So I'm still licensed because I
Yeah.
list everything that that we flip,
Mhm.
that we're selling ourselves. But I got out of really what I would call general real estate agency really about 10 years ago. So I was a what I would call a regular real estate agent for about 4 or 5 years of my career. Did a lot of transactions and then moved into more volume real estate, whether it was representing investors or doing volume REO or doing what I'm doing at Dominion now and just buying in mass for an investment purpose. I've done a lot of things. There was even a startup in there that got mixed into that, for a little while. But I haven't been what I would call a regular real estate agent for about a decade.
You guys seem like you have, I mean, it's a very in-house operation. You got you as a realtor, you guys have your sister company that helps with lending. It seems like a very just tight operation.
Yeah, no, this is it. We are very, very vertically integrated, full in-house construction, full in-house property
Yeah.
management. You mentioned Dominion Financial. Most of your listeners know them very well because they're nationwide lending. I mean, all of these sister companies work in harmony together, and the directors, that sit in these chairs, we are constantly communicating as to what is working and what isn't, because I don't want to put a whole lot of effort, company dollars, right? Like company money behind something that's not working. So we're constantly changing, where we're putting marketing money, where we're putting, effort in leasing, where we're putting, hey, that block doesn't rent as well anymore. Hey, sell that asset, that type of thing. And you have to communicate. We just have to. So the vertical integration is usually scary for a lot of people, but we have found a real niche to be able to do that very well, with the way we have structured, the owners of the company have structured Dominion in general.
Wow, that's so much to keep track of. You guys
Oh,
are so organized.
well, so yes, right. Like, and it's why there's, very specific people in specific chairs. You have to be, we all call, all of us call each other rock stars. Like, it's just, everybody who's contributing here is a rock star in my book, because frankly, this company doesn't run. We're a very lean company. There's only, we're a team of 10. Okay. Property management is another team of 12. Construction is bigger just because of the amount of contractors and stuff that they employ and use. But even then, there's, they have 5 project managers running 120 jobs. Like, it's
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
You have to know your everything that you're doing on your day to day. You've got to be an expert at it here. There is no time. There is no time to dilly dally. There is no time to delay on waiting for a permit. Like, no. You got to call the city. You got to call them. You have to babysit them. We don't have the luxury of of some of these very, very large REITs or something where I'm not going to say that they're wasting money, but they have more money than us and they have the ability to wait a little bit longer. I don't have that luxury. So we're constantly pushing to make things happen.
Sink or swim.
Yeah, agreed. Totally agreed.
You guys are sort of transitioning into multifamily now.
Yeah, I mentioned, before we started that cap rates have really put a damper on our ability to get into multifamily for a long time, especially during COVID. I mean, cap rates got real low, and they just didn't cover, the boom of COVID threw a monkey wrench into that mentality of us being able to really expand into that world. Today, with, commercial real estate being more depressed than it has been, has allowed us to pick up a few deals here and there where it's very niche for us. We picked up a 28 unit, a 20 unit. We're currently about to go online with our first self-built. That one's 46 units. We're about to break ground on a 60 unit. Like, we've got a lot going on now where we're way more comfortable with the cash flow, the projections, the actual renovation portion. All of this stuff has really come to fruition over the last about 24 months. And in the last probably 12 months is where we've really started ramping up and looking at more and more multifamily deals across the board, again, focused in the Baltimore region, but looking at more and more of those deals to see if they fit our, what we're trying to do.
Yeah, that's really exciting. I mean, it's a good way to add a bunch of units too.
I totally agreed. And some of these, we kind of giggle about it behind the scenes. It's some of them you can't build them for what they're selling them for. Like, the replacement cost is more than what they're selling for. Now, you can't say that about every one of them, right? And further, some of them don't even cover the mortgage. Like, there's, they're mismanaged, there's issues, there's CapEx, problems, blah, 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 right? We're not really looking at those, right? Like, I'm looking for the middle of the road ones that, maybe someone's just trying to get out of the market, they're trying to retire, or, hey, they're just tired of being a landlord. They're tired of what I refer to as tenants and toilets. Like, it's just not working for them anymore and they want out. Well, those are really good candidates for us because it doesn't mean that they've been neglected. They've just, the landlord is just, oh, I can't deal with it anymore, and that's a good fit for us. So we find a bunch of those deals that are far closer to our numbers than some of the others. So we go way further down the rabbit hole with those than we do some of the other deals that are out there.
Do you guys have a property management company vertically integrated?
Yeah. So
I assumed so.
Dominion Management. That's in you can anybody can look them up online. Baltimore'sBestRentals.com. Like they're I made a comment earlier. They're rock stars, right? Like we operate somewhere in the 4 to 5% vacancy rate. We had an uptick over the last couple months. I think we're at 7%, but that's slowly coming down again. Um, and we don't really know why. We dug in, don't quite understand where the uptick came from, but neither here nor there. There's still demand for rentals. It is on its way down. I think we're hovering right around 5.5, 6% at the moment, which for 900 doors is very low. There was a long time there where we were operating at around 2, 3%. We didn't think that was going to stay forever though. So having it be around that 4 or 5% is kind of where we want to be, and we're slowly working. We're working our way back to that.
Yeah, and what are your guys' goals for, the next few years?
I mean, it's never been about the unit count. It's never been, oh, we want to get to 1,000 doors or we want to get, here. I think in general, there's never been a specific goal, right? It's more along the lines of make the portfolio as profitable as we can, fill it full of good real estate. And that also means getting rid of some of the stuff that we've owned for 20 years that doesn't work anymore, right? Like if you've owned a property, if you've owned an asset for, 15, 20 years, a lot of things can happen, especially in Baltimore, right? Like that block may be completely different than what it was when you first bought the place, and it no longer works, right? Like you're getting turnover, you know, every 2 years. That's not how we operate. Like across our entire portfolio, we're averaging about 7.5 years on our tenancy. And it's because we do good renovations, we're well managed, there's people who actually care on the other end of the phone, like that type of stuff. So the goal is to really just fill it full of that. Fill it full of people who want to stay, keep doing flips, keep doing the advantageous stuff for the acquisition side, and keep the construction team humming. I don't want them to get lazy. Okay. I want them to keep them busy. And that's really the goal. It's never been about a specific number or, hey, we want the portfolio to be worth this much money. It's just not what it is.
Yeah, but I mean, that's amazing. You guys do such great work in that area. What would be, kind of to wrap this up, what would be some advice that you wish you knew earlier in about real estate investing?
First one that I always tell people is how to say no. Learn it.
Mm, yeah.
Learn it. And in real estate, your time is your entire salary. So you need to learn how to say no. And it's easy to say yes. It's so easy to say yes. And even the owner of Dominion gives me hell from time to time because I hate the idea of disappointment. So I say yes a lot. But learning to really know when to say the word no is a very, very important thing. The next one that I really harp on is knowing your market. We talked about that already. Really digging into some of the free, right? Like I'm not talking about signing up for stuff, but digging into the free data that most cities, towns, are already providing via GIS maps, via public record data, via, whatever, right? Find it, learn it, learn to love it because you want to be your industry expert. The only way you're going to get there is really digging in hard. And most piece of advice, most of your competitors aren't. So the better you know your market, the better you're going to be.
Sounds like you know the market really well.
Thanks. I mean, we try. Like it's a thing. Like we spend a lot of time doing it. So thanks for that because I definitely appreciate it.
Well, amazing. How can people find you?
So you can go to our website, which is dominionbuysHouses.com. I'm on LinkedIn, so you can just look me up, Brian Leibowitz. My email is brian@thedominiongroup.com. Feel free to reach out. I'm always available. If anybody wants advice, wants to know how to dig into the Baltimore market, I'll happily share some tips and tricks. But in general, just reach out whenever somebody feels like it.
Wonderful. Well, this has been such a great conversation. Thank you so much for being here, Brian.
No, I appreciate the time. Thanks, Kristen.
Yes, and thank you everybody for listening. And please check out Brian and Dominion. And we will see you back next time. Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.